So the first chainsaw was invented. Chainsaw invented, or first chainsaw prototype invented. That same chainsaw that was invented, or the prototype that was invented and familiar today in the timber industry, was pioneered in the late 18th century by two Scottish doctors, John Atkins and James Jeffrey, for a symphysiotomy and excursion of diseased bone, respectively. These are coconuts that's getting close to being mature. These two are different size. They're much smaller. They're getting closer to become more mature. So I'm talking about the coconuts because also I'm going to tap into some of the fun facts and interesting information about pirates and having the way how they would preserve water or harvest water or manage their water for their voyage. So on the ships they had certain parts of the ship where they had, like, how we have the modern day gutter. They also had stuff like that that was done on the ships in certain ways that the water would be collected using our current day modern gutter system to harvest rainwater while at sea. We do work for like, shares, and comments. And the first Allen key was manufactured or designed and built by William G. Allen, and it was done by the Allen Manufacturing Company. He invented the first Allen key in the early 1900s. Allen also patented for his creation the hex key, or hex shape socket. So the keys would be like on an angle, like a 90-degree angle. He patented that, and he patented the hex shape sockets in screws around 1909 to 1910. Even though there are other companies that oh, I love the birds how they're chirping. So like people of old, we kind of have this preconceived notion that maybe they weren't. We have to like step away from that perspective or that idea of us pondering or assuming that they weren't smart or genius or intelligent. They were super brilliant. I mean, to think about modern day gutters and figure out how to like carve into the wood on the ships and stuff to have a system to help collect and harvest water is a genius move and a brilliant plan. Like in some of my other videos about the same piracy, I've stated that that was critical for survival. We do work for like, shares, and comments. Check out the about section. There are other things available to the general public that you can sign up for. And then here it is. That's your hex shape screw. About to extract that. The chain from the chainsaw jumped off when I was doing some cutting the other day, so I'm about to repair it up and put it back together and do some more pruning and cutting today. So we do have other companies that have made this, but William Allen is the one that he's the father of these types of screws and the Allen key. So I'm using Allen's key and the screw right here. a little nervous. I don't know why I should be so nervous. So just taking it out right at the final phase. It was a genius to create that, because if you don't have your Allen key and something happens, they can't steal your stuff. It's a way to perfect invention for security purpose. So the chain jumped off the guard, so I'm gonna take this off, clean that up, and just put it back on. So you have to have the right amount of tension on the chain for it to stay on the bar. And then while it's on the bar have a guide for it to stay. And if you look, it also have a little guide in there and a guard back there to prevent the chain from going all the way up against the back of the housing. So I just put the chain back on and focusing on how to get the right tension to prevent it from happening, because you have to have the right tension. Just demonstrating a couple turns via my finger before I use the Allen key. I'm not a tech savvy guy, so I did the best to get the tension, the right amount of tension back in the chain. For that, you gotta go to an expert. There we go. Got it all tightened up. Hmm. And those there are baby coconuts. And these are, I don't know, but they're coconuts as well. I don't know what phase you would say that. Embryo. And if you can see right up the middle dead center of the screen, there are a couple baby coconuts already coming out. They even come with a chain guard as well. They also in 1927, Emil Larp founded the Delmar developed the first gasoline powered chainsaw and mass produced them as well. 1927 chainsaw became a popular item. The Little Wonder Company also invented the first handheld hedge trimmer in 1940, followed by its first double-bladed reciprocating model in 1945, then its first gasoline-powered unit in 1955. Those are the two blade for the hedge trimmer. When I stumbled upon capture the last image for the video, I saw pick this beer or select this beer because there's a little hummingbird fluttering around up in here. It's amazing.